Hey there, horror fans. Hell's Hooligan here. If you happen to be browsing your way through and you like what you hear, please hit subscribe and leave us a 5-star review. If you haven't already, find us on all platforms of social media, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Also, we welcome all feedback and suggestions, so hit us up at 66.6thehorror@gmail.com. We look forward to hearing from you, so listen up, and remember, stay scary.
Get sex, get sex, get sexy sex, one sex. Get sex, get sex, get sexy sex, one sex. Are you sad? You need an X. You need sexy sex, one sex. Get sex, get sex, get sexy sex, one sex.
66.6 The Horror. Welcome to the podcast where we address, stress, and obsess over everything that is horror. I am your host for the day, Hell's Hooligan, and I'm joined by a couple of fucked up co-hosts.
What? What?
Mr. Evil Eddie.
Time to get shit-faced!
Fucking just sit there in silence, man. Don't even fucking acknowledge that you've just been introduced. It's cool. and the man himself, either Linnea or Linnea, Leatherface.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. What's up, guys?
Hey, not much, man. Not much.
Okay.
Hey, just enjoying the holiday season. Well, the weather outside is frightful.
Today it is, actually. We don't get this kind of weather around here very much.
No, dude, it's pretty gnar outside. Gnar outside.
Gnar.
Yeah, dude.
Okay.
Well, hey, it's good to see you guys. It's good to be back in action, doing another
know.
podcast.
Yeah,
The last one was pretty fun, gobble with Blood Rage.
I'm glad we got a chance to talk about that one, man. You know,
Yeah, me too, man.
I want to say I mentioned that one. I think the first time I watched it was whenever we did our quarantine episode. That was one of the ones I was like, dude, finally
That
got a
is
chance
correct.
to watch that. So
Totally,
yeah.
I remember that. I'm glad we got to do that. That was part of our happy horror holidays. We're going to continue our
Tis
happy
the
horror
season to be
holidays.
scary.
Tis the season. So we're going to continue this with some Christmas horror movies.
Ooh, and man, there are so many good ones. So many good ones.
Like President's
There
Day.
are.
That one's a great one.
Like I
That is
said,
a
there are
scary
so
movie.
many other good movies besides that movie.
Is that the Michael Douglas movie?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
there's also so many bad ones. And you know what? And I think that's the thing that irks me now. The fact that it's like you've opened Pandora's box. It's like anyone just thinks if they slap a holiday in there that it's like all of a sudden going to be like a classic or relevant. People fucking try to ride the coattails of holidays because, you know, like Mariah Carey's making like $11 million from that one song that she wrote a year. So people, I think they try to ride the wave, and it kind of irks me. I'm
And
passionate
Michael-
about
yeah.
that.
And
There's
Michael Bublé.
well,
Where the hell does he go for, like, fucking,
is it Bubbly? I thought it was Bublé.
Michael Bublé.
I'm just gonna call him Michael Bublé from now on. I like that better.
For 11 months out of the year, we don't hear from him, and then December comes, and there he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The faux Sinatra, Michael
That's
Bublé.
right. Well,
Yeah.
but hey, good. I got to give him props for carrying on that sort of Croner genre because there's not many
Yeah.
people that can do it and do it well. And hey, you know, he's put
Yeah.
his name on the map. So
Oh, no.
Exactly.
no, you hate
Go
him.
Crone.
Dude, you were telling
I-
us earlier. Eddie's Doppler hatred radar had returned. You were trying to track Santa Claus, and you said, "No, fuck Bubbly."
I actually like him.
Well, you know the thing is,
I actually like.
yeah. Are we still talking about Bubbly? Here?
Yep, we sure are.
we
So,
are. Yeah.
We're keeping
Buckle
all
up,
this in. I don't
listeners.
care
Yeah.
what you say.
Well, when we chose Blood Rage for a Thanksgiving Happy Horror Holidays episode, there wasn't a whole lot of options for Thanksgiving-based horror movies. However, when it comes to Christmas, there is a shitload of them, most of which are not great. So, but, you know, we probably need to go to a video store a little later on and see what they
Yeah.
But
what
before we
they
do
recommend.
that, we should
we
do
do that?
ourselves a due diligence.
What is that, Lynn Leatherface? What should we do?
let's go to the squared circle. Make our
Oh, the
way
main event.
from the ramp down to the main event.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing your hosts for 66.6 The Horror, it's Lynn Leatherface. With Hell's Hooligan. And Evil Eddie.
And we're back. Boys, it's a dreary day outside.
Yeah.
I ain't got nothing else to do. I ain't got shit else to do. Let's watch a movie, man. Let's go rent a videotape.
Agreed. It's
And
a
I know
great day to watch a movie.
it really is. In all honesty, it is. I know this new video store. That, yeah, I saw one. Boys. It's right over next to Ira's Toys. It's called the Warm Side of the Door Video Store.
Oh, man.
Man.
Is that where the people that love you are going to hold you and kiss you?
That's exactly what they do there at the Warm Side of the Door Video
I'm
Store. That's a
pretty
very
sure it's the video store where you can find videotapes, fun, and more, and only at the warm side of the door. Right?
I suppose so.
Yeah.
I don't.
That came out of nowhere. You should write their jingle.
You should.
It's a shame that's not in a song.
I wonder if that's the song that plays when you walk through the door there at the Warm Side of the Door.
I don't know. Let's open the door and find out. Ready?
Hey, let's go check it out. Let's go.
At the warm side of the door.
Oh, what do you know?
Wow.
You were right.
It sure as hell does.
Hi, fellas.
Oh my goodness. Who
Yeah.
is Hi.
Hi.
Who are you?
I'm Mr. Sims. Hey, what can I do you for?
Well, we would like to get a tape and get the hell out of here as quick as possible.
Yeah, get us a we need a holiday
You want a
tape.
tape?
Yeah, a holiday tape.
You guys want to drink with me?
No, sir.
Let's get shit-faced.
I'm with you, buddy. I'm with you. You can take a sip of my whiskey.
So I obviously see how you're keeping warm on this side of the door here.
That's right. Hey, you guys want a videotape of holiday?
Yeah, I
got something for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got something for you. It's called We Can Watch Home Alone.
Oh, well, I just watched
You
that
want
one the
that?
other night, so I think
You
I'll
want,
be good there.
okay.
Do you
How
have-
about Elf? You want Elf?
I've seen it already. Yeah, that's one of the first ones I watch each month.
You
But
should-
maybe we're thinking something with a bit scarier than that.
Yeah, something like
Ow!
President's Day would be nice.
Oh, yeah.
I could probably just like recommend something for you that's scary, like horror movie. Yeah, Mr. Sims got you, boys.
Hey,
that
Mr.
would- that
Mr.
would- that
Harry
would definitely
Scary
be
over
it.
here.
Oh, I got one. How about 1984 slasher? It's called Saturday Night Deadly Night.
Perfect. We'll take it.
Yeah, we'll take it. Yeah.
Well, okay.
Well, let's take that one. But before we watch it, let's see what this movie claims it has to offer.
Bearing the emotional scars of a young boy who has seen his mother and father brutally murdered by a savage killer in a Santa Claus costume, 18-year-old Billy explodes into a lethal frenzy. He's asked to put on a Santa Claus costume himself to entertain the customers of the department store where he works. Reminded of the tragic events that have marked his life, Billy embarks on a killing rampage that is as ghastly and controversial as anything ever seen on film. Silent Night, Deadly Night. It's the movie they tried to stop you from seeing, and it's now in its original and uncut version. Recommended for mature audiences only, but not to be missed.
Wow. Okay, this one seems fucking intriguing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think by just seeing the box art, looking at the back of this, reading it, I'm in.
You're
I think
in?
this is-
Yeah.
yeah, it's enough to get me for sure.
We're in. All right, boys, let's talk about the box art. Let's talk about the poster. This is a controversial poster.
Yes, it
faux
is.
show, and it is iconic and extremely memorable. I absolutely love it. Fucking great poster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
You guys agree?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. It's one of those ones when I saw it as a kid. I was like, I'm not supposed to be watching that. Like, that's out of my league. That's hardcore.
So, not to jump into trivia a little early on in this episode, but this poster caused all kinds of chaos in the movie theaters back in 1984. Parents saw this poster and were fucking pissed about it.
Yeah.
This is not, it's Santa Claus with an axe killing people. There was lots of protests against the movie. It was a big deal back then. As a matter of fact, again, more trivia early on here. It came out on the same weekend that Nightmare on Elm Street came out, and it actually outgrossed Nightmare on Elm Street only for that first week. And then the second week, it fell pretty flat, and then I believe by the third week, it was pulled from the theaters due to people protesting against it. They hated the fact that there was a movie about a killer Santa.
And you got to think, it's 80s. The slasher movies are coming out hand over fist. It was a matter of time, right? They were gonna do something with Christmas and make a Santa Claus to kill. It was gonna happen, right? It was inevitable. That's the natural progression of things.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, especially in a time when I do think that the window of opportunity to do something new was a lot more wide open. You just knew they were going to eventually make a Christmas slasher to this caliber. I mean, from the cover to sort of the lore behind, like you just said, that bit of trivia, which I find fascinating. It's like it's got a lot of interesting things around it. And
The thing is, this isn't the first Santa killer movie. Christmas Evil came out before this movie. But I think this one just had a lot more kind of notoriety behind it because of the poster that came out and things like that. So
right, like taking it to that next level.
Yeah,
I mean,
and what about Tales from the Crypt, London?
Oh shit, that came out
version?
like 10 years before this.
Yeah, and that had a killer Santa Claus as well.
That was the first one. And that is a creepy
yeah.
scene. Yeah, that's a scary Santa Claus. So hey, let's go around real quick. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Lynn Leatherface, what do you think?
Yeah, give it a thumbs up.
Cool. Evil Eddie?
Yeah, for sure. Thumbs up.
No, it's the same here. Thumbs up. This is the one that I chose for this episode. Not only is it one of my favorite Christmas horror movies, it's one of my favorite horror movies. I really enjoy this one. I think they did a very, very good job with it. We were fortunate enough to go last year before the pandemic hit. We were able to go to a theater and see it presented on 35 millimeter, and that was kick-ass.
Yeah.
It looked really, really good. I like the cinematography of this movie. It just looks good. There's a lot of really cool things about it. It's a good story. I think the acting's pretty good in it, and we'll kind of dive into that a little bit. But yeah, it was really fun that we got to go to the theater and see it in 35 millimeter.
Yeah, that was awesome. I mean, it's crazy to think that 35 millimeter, it's survived all this time. And as we know, that sort of media, before too long, it'll just, as anything else, it's going to disintegrate and it's going to be unplayable. It's cool. It's cool that we could do that, and it's even there's that's still around to be able to do it to survive that long.
Yeah,
it wasn't like there was tons of those around at the time, like a lot heavily circulated in theaters where there was a lot of reels. It's not like it's fucking
right
with a lot of distribution. So
cool. Well, guys, let's go into some likes and dislikes about this one. Evil Eddie, why don't you lead us off with what you like about the movie?
Yeah, absolutely. Here's one thing I really like about the movie is I could kind of not fully relate to this movie, but as I've mentioned, I think on a previous episode, I went to a Catholic school my whole life, and I was pretty much raised by nuns and priests, and so nuns were very prominent at my schools, and they are the most cold-blooded people you will ever meet. So when Billy, he's at this orphanage, and the Mother Superior is punishing him and all that. It brought back flashbacks, not in a traumatic way, but God, when they turned on the discipline,
Sure.
God, I remember getting hit by the meter stick quite a bit of times.
Yeah.
For misspelling something or, not paying attention. They just crack your knuckles with that meter stick. I saw one kid get dragged by his ear, from across the room. I saw some crazy shit, but, hey, we all...
How much of that you think goes on today? So, there too again, it's like...
None.
Wow.
Zero.
Yeah, none. No pun intended. But it's like, I think that, like, it's so bizarre to look for someone that didn't... Because I remember I didn't go through anything like that. But yeah, I remember, like... disciplinary actions of educate was a lot different when we were growing up. So, yeah, it definitely includes that at the very beginning. So, from the get-go, it just sets a very ominous tone.
It does.
Because I think that beyond the fact that you find out, from then on out why he is the way he is and everything like that, but I just do think that little things like that, it kind of just add to the creepiness of this movie. Like when they go visit the grandfather in the nursing home, it's just like little creepy things about it outside of the main plot that's going on with all that happens on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day rather, and which we'll get into in a second. But yeah, just that little caveat, and then it's a kind of an overall kind of just creepy movie across the board. It doesn't really let up at all. Like it's cringeworthy and creepy with you laugh, but sometimes it's just out of like uncomfortableness or something.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah.
Okay, any dislikes at all, Eddie? Or
No.
do we want to just talk about likes and then come back and do dislikes?
No. I don't really have any dislikes in this movie. This movie's not a perfect movie by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, like we said, it came out with Nightmare on Elm Street and outgrows Nightmare on Elm Street, probably because of the time of year. But obviously, Nightmare on Elm Street's a better, more thought-out movie. This one is a lot to like about it. It's not unbelievable, but it is sort of comical. It is sort of really pushing that B-movie envelope. I fucking love this movie. Yeah, I wouldn't change it. If it was up to me, I would not change a thing about it. So no, great kills. The guy who plays Billy, the kid and the adult, both excellent. Yeah. It's not it's not unbelievable. I do remember, just from personal standpoint, getting out of the Catholic school system and going into college and seeing how relaxed everything is, seeing people act a certain way like that would not have flown, So I can kind of relate to how he's kind of like a fish out of water coming into this job, the working world. But, he flips to the extreme, and it's fucking great from there. So, absolutely. What do you guys have?
Yeah, Lynn, what do you think?
It's one of those ones I liked immediately as soon as I saw it, I guess. Like, I liked it immediately. And I think because for so long, it was a movie for me when I was little. It was like, oh, man, I'm not allowed. My parents were going to rent that. I'd kind of see it, like I just remember very vividly seeing the cover of this movie at where we would grew up at the video store, and I was like, God, that looks hardcore, And then when you finally see it, it's like you're laughing at it, but it does have some pretty intense moments, man. Like I said, I just love that scene in the nursing home with the grandfather, and if you've ever been to a nursing home around the holidays and stuff like that, I mean, you know how it is. They just kind of the person you're going to go see, they'll wheel them out there, and you do have elderly people just kind of talking nonsense sometimes. And I just imagine as a young boy, like hearing that shit, it's terrifying. Yeah. And then of course it's just it's an awful scene. What happens, what he experiences, and it's you just know it's a matter of time before he's going to snap without even knowing it. I kind of felt like I knew the direction this movie was going to go, but I wasn't mad about that. I thought it gave me exactly what I wanted to see from a movie like this. That's why I said, there was inevitably going to be one that I think of all these sort of Santa slashers that came out either in 70 or this one like kind of mid-80s. I think this is the best of those for me. Just personally, I like it the best. And so I was like, there's going to be one that was going to like cause attention and get people's eyes kind of raised, like, oh my God, like they're doing this, right? And so they definitely did it. They went there, right? They made a Christmas slasher that I think is pretty effective. It's enjoyable, man. It's enjoyable, and I like the acting. I like the casting, and I like the acting. I think all of it plays really well. Much like we talked about before with some of these movies. There's certain people that really stand out, and I think it's notable, some performances, but I think all in all, it was cast pretty well, actually. There's not a lot of subpar acting, I guess you should say. It's not going to win any awards or anything like that, but yeah, it's fun. And of course, the music in this is great. And we were having a discussion prior to recording this about just Warm Side of the Door, and not to get too far into that, but I had a hard time finding that for a long time, but it just got released on vinyl, and I think it's now on Spotify, and I love that one. It's now immediately on my rotation of Spotify playlists for the holidays or whatnot. So there it is.
Good shit. Good
Yeah.
shit, man. That's a great song. It's a great movie.
What about you,
It's good.
Hooligan?
Yeah. Okay. So I chose this one because, like I said earlier, it's not only one of my favorite Christmas horror movies, but it's one of my favorite horror movies. I think it's really well done. I don't remember the first time I saw this one. I don't remember when I think I started kind of diving into like holiday horror movies about 10 years ago. I started checking stuff out, so it's probably been about that long. I've watched it quite a few times since, and there's really nothing that I dislike about the movie. I think that I like how it sets up the movie, kind of similar to our last episode with Blood Rage, how it's when Terry and Todd, the killers from Blood Rage, were kids, that it's like a introduction to the movie when you see them killing somebody or whatever. Basically, it's the same thing. This is when Billy is a kid and he sees Santa kill his parents, and then he has to go to the orphanage and all that shit. I like how they set that up and kind of gives you some background to the movie. I think that's pretty cool. I don't know, man. I like the moment when you see Billy kind of flip his switch and become psychotic, and start killing, and you understand
to put on
why.
that Santa outfit, dude. Don't do it. Don't push him.
You do it. Naughty! Fucking naughty baby. Naughty baby. Naughty, 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 now. Naughty. Yeah, dude, it's just a good one. I think there's some great kills in it. NECA came out with a action figure for Billy, and I think this is fucking amazing that they came out with a Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2 figure for Ricky, the eyebrow-raising brother.
Yeah. Kind of falls in that vein of the Slumber Party Massacre figure. What a treat to have.
Dude, I think it's so cool. As a matter of fact, I meant to ask you guys this when we recorded that the Thanksgiving one a couple weeks ago with Blood Rage. I would love to see a Terry or a Todd.
No, a two-pack.
A two-pack.
Yeah.
A twofer. That would be a really cool one.
I'm down for both of them.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's really cool that NECA comes out with these super obscure action figures, but I think that's it. Oh, I just bought this Part 1 and Part 2 Blu-ray set that's got the unrated, uncut version in 4K of Part 1. Yeah, Eddie got it too. Sucks, though, dude. I didn't realize it's Region B. It came from Europe, and so I have no player that can.
Ain't that
play
just
this
a
thing.
real pain in the ass?
Yeah.
I wish there was a better way around that. I mean, yeah, you can. They've got some region-free Blu-ray players. Some of them are, and it's just the fact that it's even a thing is annoying. It shouldn't.
It
be.
is annoying, man. So I was really excited to get this because it came in just a week ago, and it's Christmas time. I was so pumped to watch it, and can't fucking watch it, man.
That's
so, anyways.
lame. That
Yeah,
vinyl
so
looks cool though.
It does, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's got some cool artwork with it.
That's one of those ones I'd probably try to. If you wanted to get it, I'd go ahead and get it because I don't think they made very many of them, and it's Silent Night,
limited
Deadly Night
run.
memorabilia, right? You got to get as much of that as you can.
Yeah, definitely. It's more obscure stuff. So, yeah, I like this movie a lot. I think it's a very, very good one. This is my number one recommended Christmas horror movie. Your other big one's Black Christmas. I recommend both of them. I actually recommend Silent Night, Deadly Night over Black Christmas personally. I think it's just a little bit more fun. It's a little faster pace, things like that. The last horror movie that I truly recommend for Christmas movies is Santa's Sleigh, where Bill Goldberg plays Santa. If you haven't seen it, it's a horror comedy, and dude, it is one of the most fun movies to watch. I have to watch it every single. Oh yeah, dude, it's great.
I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, watch it. It's so good. And you're a wrestling fan, so you like Goldberg.
Yeah,
He's
man. I like
so
my
good.
wrestlers in the ring though. When they start making movies, typically it depends.
He does a good job in this one.
Yeah, I mean, hey, The Rock's obviously done okay for himself, right?
Well,
he's
what
done
about
okay,
Hulk
I
Hogan,
think,
Mr. Nanny? Come on.
Mr. Nanny. I forgot about that movie.
What is it? Thunder in Paradise too. When he was
No,
on, he
Hulk-
had that boat.
Oh yeah, I do remember that. Yeah, yeah,
He
yeah.
had like that tricked out boat, and he was like special forces. or
Yeah,
something.
brother. Yeah.
Yeah, brother.
All right, guys. Well, that's great that we went over our likes and dislikes, which didn't sound like we had any dislikes. Awesome. All right. But before we go into our favorite kills and trivia about the movie, let's take a quick break. We'll be right back.
666, who needs a fix? It's back again under your skin. The horror's here, dripping with fear, haunting your dreams with blood and screams. Monsters that kill, sending you chills, slashes with knives, claiming the lies. Zombie blisters from in your brains. Goblins are near with evil cheer. Turn out the lights, beg for the right stories to tell of demons from hell. 66.6 the horror, 66.6 the horror.
And we're back to talk about our favorite kills in the movie. So,
Fun.
total.
Always a fun segment.
It's always the best segment, dude. Total of a lucky 13 kills in this movie.
Right on.
Yep. Okay, Evil Eddie, lead us off with your favorite kill.
Hands down, the sleigh. The sled. Sorry. The sled is so fucking classic. I love
When they're
how
sliding down and he chops their head off.
Yeah,
with an axe.
there's no build up to it. It's just you see these two kids getting bullied. They steal their sleds. One goes downhill. You know something's going to happen, but they don't build it up. There's no suspenseful music kicking in. It's just all of a sudden he just jumps off and beheads the kid. Fucking
It's awesome.
Great. Just like it was like the obvious choice, and they just grabbed it, and I'm so glad they didn't just make it too overcomplicated. Just fucking simple.
Very
Yeah,
good.
dude.
Very good. Lynn Leatherface, what was your favorite kill, man?
Man, that's mine for sure. That's where my mind was at with it. So I can't disagree in the least.
Okay. All right. Easy stuff there. Well, I'm going to change it up a bit. Mine was Denise, played by Linnea Quigley, which is awesome that she's in this movie. But when he lifts her up and impales her through the deer antlers, and she's topless at the time, I think that's you can't really beat that. It's Linnea Quigley, man.
Yeah, two pretty big signature kills in this one. I mean, I think those are pretty memorable. You know, they really stand out. So
Yeah.
you know, you may be
there's-
like in some slashers, you may be good for like one of those, and the rest are just kind of meh. They're just getting body count and just getting through it or whatever. Yeah, those are two.
I mean,
that stand out.
The parents dying, that first scene, the first killing
God,
scene.
that's
I mean,
awful.
it's just it's not fun. It's actually like
No.
oh shit just got real.
Yeah, that's a fucked up scene.
And
Yeah.
one thing I want to throw in there, you know what? This whole movie does not happen if fucking the clerk, while he had all that time to shoot that Santa Claus, like, this movie doesn't happen. He had like a good like minute and a half to. He was staring into his eyes.
I know.
And just, and he wasn't even like dying yet. He was just wounded, and then Santa Claus just takes the very gifted time that he gets to fucking put one through his head.
Yeah.
Yeah, the hesitation, it's just, it's laughable. I don't know why.
I don't
he
know,
waited.
man. He is a liquor store clerk. Maybe he was shit-faced and didn't know what to do.
Could be.
I don't know. Mr. Sims was shit-faced at this toy store for their Christmas party, and he was a pretty smart guy. Minus the fact that he did get hammered in the head, by Billy. So
Well,
God,
that guy had a gun pulled on him a few years later in Weird Science.
weird science.
This is the dad in that movie.
Yeah. Well,
So he's get rough go at it, I guess.
I guess so, man.
Yeah, it's good kills, man. Good kills. Who's got some trivia for us? I know that there's probably some good trivia.
I did a bit of research.
Nice.
Oh, excuse me, Miss Ann Landers.
Okay, so we already talked about the fact that it opened on the same weekend as Nightmare on Elm Street. It outgrossed it only for one weekend, which is that's a pretty big feat, I'd say. Okay, we know about all the angry picketing parents that were pissed off about the killer Santa. So this film was actually known as Sleigh Ride throughout the production. TriStar later changed it to Silent Night, Deadly Night. It was a last-minute thing. But yeah, originally it was called Sleigh Ride. Robert Ebert was really pissed off. I'm sorry, it was Siskel and Ebert at the time they were doing it together. Siskel and Ebert, for that matter, were both really pissed off. They actually, on TV, were calling out all the like the writer and the director and the producers, saying, "You people have nothing to be proud of for this movie." They were pissed off. So,
Do you
sorry.
think it has to do with the scene with the parents getting killed?
I don't know. I think it's just, who knows if
Yeah.
they even fucking watched it. I think it's just the principle of the movie being made in general.
Yeah, but I mean, I find there, like you guys are saying, it's not like there weren't movies that had done this before. So it's like as I'm saying, there had to be one, I guess, that just pissed people off enough. But I maybe it's just the way and the manner in which it was done, or I don't know. Yeah,
Don't know, man. But I do know that the director, Charles E. Sellier Jr., was not comfortable with filming any of the kill scenes, any of the gory stuff. So they had to have the editor, Michael Spence, direct all the gory shit, which is kind
That's so
of crazy.
strange.
I'm like, did you not know what you were getting into before you signed on?
right.
So he didn't really go on to direct really anything else for that matter that was worth a shit.
He's
so.
like, so if I get hired as a director, I actually have to direct something? I don't quite understand it.
That's not really what I do, okay? I'm more of a thinker.
Let me explain something to you. All right.
There was a remake that was made in 2012. It was kind of
Really?
loosely based on it. Yeah. I watched it. It is not good. It's the Santa Claus wears it's a mask, so you never see his face. He never speaks. It's just gory and lots of big kill scenes and really not a great story or anything like that. Malcolm McDowell is in it, though. So there was an additional 6 minutes of footage that was edited out of the film because they were in fear of potentially getting an X rating from these gory shots.
Right.
So
and didn't you say that the little box set you got there has that?
it has the
footage
gory
on
footage, yeah, but of course I can't fucking watch it. So
Unbelievable, dude.
Unbelievable. So there is a sequel to this movie, and it really isn't a sequel. It's like pretty much Silent Night, Deadly Night with some extra scenes added.
Oh, damn it. I
it
thought
was-
that was the director's cut.
It's funny because it's supposed to be Billy's younger brother Ricky grown up, and he becomes a killer as well. But really, all Ricky does is raise his eyebrows. A total of 130 times in the movie, to be exact. This guy has the most expressive fucking eyebrow raises you've ever seen. So if you for that purpose alone, you got to check out part 2 just to watch those amazing brows.
I think it's as good as part one, if I'm being honest.
like literally like it's like 80% of the movie is just part 1. The exact same. I mean, it's like the scenes from part 1, and then they add extra stuff. It's like flashback stuff in this one.
Oh, and
They
they
got real lazy and when they made Evil Dead 2.
They take
If
the
they,
best
if they just
scenes.
decided to do it that way.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
take the best scenes from Silent Night, Deadly Night, take out everything else, and just add sequel. It's a great formula.
Yeah, it's crazy. So there, actually, it's funny enough. There is 5 Silent Night, Deadly Night movies. The third one apparently has something to do with the first 2. I've never seen it, so I don't really know how it ties in. But part 4 and 5 have literally nothing to do with the first movie.
They're not canon? Wait a minute. We don't have canon
Yeah.
Silent Night, Deadly Night here? What?
No. Well, funny enough, here's one for you. So the actor Mickey Rooney was really pissed off about this movie being made back in '84. He even wrote a letter to the production company trying to get it to be banned or whatever the fuck he was doing. And then Mickey Rooney stars in part 5.
Oh,
So-
he's been desperate for some cash.
Well, rumor has it it's called Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 5, The Toy Maker. I guess when he signed on, it was only called The Toy Maker. And again, it has nothing to do with Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Sure.
I think that they just threw that in, before the title to get more people to get it. But it was a straight-to-video release, so I don't know what the point of that was. But
It's crazy.
from what I read online, is if Mickey Rooney knew that it was a Silent Night, Deadly Night movie, he would not have filmed it. So
Got ya.
that's funny. The last thing I'll say is that Black Christmas, which came out 10 years before in 1974, was originally titled Silent Night, Evil Night. Has nothing to do with Silent Night, Deadly Night, but that was the original title for Black Christmas. I'm glad they changed it to Black Christmas. We have a couple of different good ones, but that's pretty much it. I know that I know that Robert Brian Wilson, who plays Billy at age 18 when he becomes
From the Beach Boys?
Killer Santa.
The Lost Beach Boys brother.
Yes, he is.
Brian Wilson?
Robert Brian Wilson.
Oh, Robert Brian Wilson.
Yes. So I know that Robert Brian Wilson, who plays Billy Chapman at age 18 when he becomes the Killer Santa, after the movie was made, especially after all the protesting, the picketing, and it got banned from theaters, he was ashamed of this movie. He actually would tell people not to watch the movie. It was like the worst thing he'd ever done. Until way later, when there was conventions and this movie started to have some buzz in the horror community and everything, I think he did a convention at one point in time and completely changed his tune. Now he shows up to a lot of conventions and does his thing.
Now you want to be part of it.
Oh, yeah, now. So I get it, though. I mean, if you have something that people just totally shit on for years, you don't want to be part of it. And then come to find out, hey, there actually is a niche for this movie.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Totally.
That's
the
pretty
internet,
much
probably.
Yeah, no joke. But that's really all the trivia I've got. I think all in all, this is a really good one. I think that the actors who play Mother Superior and Sister Margaret and Mr. Sims, the manager at the Ira's toy store, they're all pretty memorable characters. I think that it's not a really bad made movie.
We
Everything
haven't talked
about
about
it's pretty
Andy, the fucking dickhead stockroom manager.
Oh, he's the worst.
God.
Yeah, dude.
He-
The one that
he
tries to
just-
rape the girl and he gets killed.
I didn't
He
realize
deserved
how
every bit of what he got.
Yeah, absolutely.
I didn't realize
Fuck
how
that guy.
cutthroat the toy store business is because
Yeah, it's pretty brutal.
Pretty brutal, man.
the way he just like fucking verbally abuses Billy the whole time, and then and not only that, like when Mr. Sims comes in, fucking he's on his best behavior, and so obviously, like it gets worse from Andy.
Crazy. Oh, you know what, guys? I forgot one pretty awesome piece of trivia. So there's one scene later in the movie where the police know that Billy is out killing people as Santa Claus, and they're looking for him. They see a Santa Claus trying to climb in a window, and they confront him. And it was a dad trying to surprise his daughter dressed as Santa for Christmas, right? The guy who plays that Santa Claus in the movie is Donald Shanks. You guys know who Donald Shanks is?
Oh, Halloween 5.
That's right. It's Michael from Halloween 5. He went on to
I
play...
think that Halloween 5 is going to be what defines us as a podcast.
I really do.
Dude.
I really do.
Halloween 5, every day I love it more and more.
I do too. I'm changing my tone daily.
Yeah, I
Well,
can't wait
it
to
becomes one of
revisit.
those it's so bad it's good movies,
I'm seriously thinking about getting that Halloween 5 figure.
I got that Halloween 5 T-shirt the other day.
You
should.
get a Halloween 5 tattoo on my face.
Okay, that's a little much. But...
You can get
All
that
right,
old
guys. Yeah. Well, hey, I think that about does it for this episode. So,
lady. So tell us something.
Do you agree or disagree with us?
Did we miss something?
is there something horror-related that you'd like to hear us cover?
Let us know. Keep in touch with us between shows on social media.
We look forward to hearing from you.
So listen up.
And remember,
Stay
scary.